The COVID has affected the whole world, and researchers have been chipping away at an immunization that will shield us from the infection. On account of their endeavors, we presently have the Moderna and Pfizer immunizations, and are expecting a couple of more antibodies to be accessible in the United States this year. Shockingly, there is a ton of falsehood about antibodies that makes individuals try not to get the immunization. Here are a few realities about immunizations by and large, and those grew explicitly for COVID-19. What is an antibody and how can it work? There are a few distinct sorts of immunizations. Regardless of the sort, all immunizations show your safe framework how to fend off specific sorts of germs and forestall the genuine illnesses they cause. Immunizations are exceptionally compelling and are the best assurance against numerous hazardous infections, like polio, mumps, pneumonia, and measles. Every immunization should go through broad testing to show that it works and that it's protected. A few immunizations utilize the hereditary structure blocks, either RNA or DNA, for the spike protein, and some utilization a changed adaptation of the spike protein itself. In any case, your insusceptible framework sees the spike protein and mounts a compelling reaction to it. With the second or sponsor shot, your invulnerable framework will make sure to make the vital cells and antibodies to battle the SARS-CoV-2 disease before it can make you debilitated. While hand washing or wearing a cover can moderate the spread of germs, they won't completely shield you from getting COVID. An incredible wellspring of data on immunizations is the United States Department of Health and Human Services site. Are the COVID immunizations protected and viable? Up until this point, the Moderna and Pfizer antibodies show around 95% insurance from getting an indicative contamination, which is astounding. The discoveries additionally show they are protected. Members in the investigations will be followed for 1 to 2 years, to perceive how long the insurance endures and to gather any extra security data. Since mid-December, these 2 antibodies have been directed to medical care laborers, nursing home staff and occupants. One security concern identified with genuine unfavorably susceptible responses has arisen: hypersensitivity. Therefore, immunizations ought to be given in an observed setting. Genuine hypersensitive responses happen at a low rate, a couple of cases for each million portions given. What are a portion of the results from the immunizations? Results might be normal in the prompt time span after the infusion. Basic results announced in the examinations included arm torment, exhaustion, cerebral pain, muscle hurts or joint throbs, chills, and surprisingly a fever. Most were viewed as gentle to direct in seriousness and settled in a day or 2. You might need to consider this when you plan your infusions. You will be given explicit data when you get an antibody. Would you be able to get COVID from the antibody? Unquestionably not. The immunizations present just a segment of the infection, the COVID spike protein, to our insusceptible framework, not the entire infection. This permits our safe framework to create invulnerability to the spike protein, and afterward we can fend off a COVID contamination immediately on the off chance that we are presented to it. How were the antibodies grown so rapidly? Scientists worked straightforwardly with what is known as the hereditary arrangement, the fundamental structure squares of the infection. This data was made accessible from the get-go in the pandemic, and different antibody organizations were prepared to utilize their innovation to make this more current kind of immunization, known as an mRNA immunization. With this sort of immunization, just the hereditary succession of the infection should have been ready to be delivered rapidly. The various periods of the investigation, stage 1 and 2, advanced rapidly on the grounds that individuals were staying at work past 40 hours to make the examinations and dissect the information. No means were skipped. Immunization designers worked more earnestly and quicker to present to us an antibody against the COVID infection. For what reason are there various antibodies for COVID? Diverse antibody designers began to deal with making an immunization as fast and securely as could be expected. The various immunizations are additionally put away at various temperatures, and the dissemination measures for the antibodies must be viewed as ready to disperse the immunizations worldwide. We would squeeze one organization to make an immunization for the entire world. The Moderna and Pfizer antibodies are RNA immunizations and are made effectively in present-day research facilities. Janssen and AstraZeneca immunizations are DNA antibodies, with the spike protein DNA embedded into a non-irresistible cold infection. These immunizations can likewise be changed rapidly to adapt to the new SARS-CoV-2 variations that have arisen. We can expect getting supporter antibodies that will consider the new popular variations. Would it be a good idea for you to get a COVID immunization? Indeed. There are valid justifications to get the immunization. The immunization will shield you from genuine ailment, possible demise, or long-haul impacts of COVID ailment. We get an immunization to secure ourselves as well as anybody we interact with, so we do this for us all. No genuine results have happened, and the potential results are being observed intently. Individuals have raised a worry that these antibodies could meddle with their capacity to have a kid. Fortunately, there is no proof that this is valid. Immunizations can help us stop the pandemic. We accept that the advantages will exceed the dangers.